Let's get a real talker and a real broadcaster in here. Michael Wilbon, pardon the interruption, and most famously, I think, the Washington Post. And good God, was I heartbroken to see everything that just happened at the Washington Post. And we welcome in Wilbon here because for many years, he and Kornheiser helped carry what has always been one of the greatest sports sections there has ever been. Now, I don't know, Michael, how much you've been watching what Will Lewis, the guy who dismantled this sports department, was doing, walking the NFL red carpet. But how are you feeling? And thank you for making the time for us here during a busy time. How are you feeling about everything that's going on at the Washington Post?
Devastated, Dan. I mean, no, I'm not paying any attention to Will Lewis. I'm not paying any attention to any of the Washington Post execs and what they could be doing. I don't know them. I've never met them. I had little regard for them anyway, long before any of this. And to be honest with you, I haven't joined any chat groups and, text threads. It's disgusting. It's disheartening. It's as bad a feeling professionally as I've had in my life to know that the Washington Post sports section is gone essentially, and the newspaper is just not going to be what it was. I walked in the door there as an intern at 20 years old, and I left at 51. I worked the first 31 years of my adult life at the Washington Post, proudly, arrogantly, enthusiastically. It's responsible for everything I have. So I'm pissed off.
Who are you pissed off at?
The world. I understand that there are conditions. Things go away. Things go away. Bigger than the Washington Post. When my dad was in the prime of his life, and even, prime of his life for sure, the three sports that mattered, the only three sports that mattered were boxing, baseball, and horse racing. Well, boxing is gone the way we knew it, right? I mean, don't tell me MMA. Boxing's gone. It doesn't exist in any form that resembles what obsessed America in the context of sports for 100 years, from the 1880s to the 1980s. Horse racing doesn't exist in any form that he knew. And baseball is a place now where they trot out, a bullpen day in the World Series. People would stop at windows in big cities at department stores to watch the World Series if they didn't have TV yet. And so there are major institutions that go away, and there's nothing you can do about it. Times change, interests change, fascinations change, the way we consume things, it changes. And so am I mad at that? Yeah, that doesn't mean I don't understand it. But then mad at the people, the executives you started mentioning, who could have done some things to stave this off, but didn't really care to, or didn't understand how to, or weren't smart enough to. Either way, I'm pissed at them. You're howling at the moon. And this might have come anyway. It seems like it was coming anyway. The Washington Post isn't the only newspaper that's, taken at least to 8 count. So I get it, but it doesn't mean I'm not angry about it.
You called Bezos a lightweight, right?
At least. I could have been worse. He's a lightweight. What he did with Kamala Harris's, the endorsement in the newspaper, what he did with, the wonderful slogan, democracy dies in darkness. He's just a lightweight at best. He's just another afraid dude. Man, I can't even imagine having that money and being afraid of a constituency or a dude in the White House, or so beholden to just being what he is, which is a delivery man. He's great at it. The best ever. but just to be scared. Just lightweight, just a cream puff.
What do you do?
If I saw him, I wouldn't shake his hand. Never met him, I wouldn't shake his hand.
What do you do with the idea that Mike Ryan espoused on the show yesterday? Hey, these things have to make money. And I know you and I lived during a glorious time where the money was separated from the editorial. But in today's America and in capitalism, is Bezos supposed to just keep taking $100 million loss every year?
Not necessarily, but there are ways to handle things, Danny. I'm not saying I don't understand, but there are ways to handle things. And we can, I'll compare it to sports. You hear all the time, you and I hear all the time from athletes we know, and they get traded or cut, released, whatever, that they heard it on sports talk radio. They heard the Warriors decided to bring Draymond Green in and talk to him and say, hey, here's what could happen. Bezos, so you mean Bezos and none of his agents, his lightweight agents, can talk to a staff that they employ? I'm not saying I don't understand, and it might have to go away. It didn't have to go away like this, where people are on assignment at the Winter Olympics and don't even know if they'll be kept there or brought home. There's just lightweight, classless, gutless stuff that happens in every industry, and you hope it doesn't happen in yours. And this is happening not just in my industry, but to a place I called home for 30 years.
Well, there are wartime journalists being let go in other countries. Never mind that they're not sending reporters to the national spring training or some of the, or
exactly.
So
we're just talking about the context of sports, but yes, I know our correspondents for decades. Yes. It's far more egregious than anything in sports. You asked me about my experience and what I'm focused in on and listening to and paying attention to, and it's my little corner of the world, former corner of the world first. But yes, the whole newspaper, the Washington Post sits on my desk every day in my home. I don't just consume it digitally. I pay to receive it. The newspaper. Like it's 1960. I grew up delivering newspapers when I was a kid in Chicago, 2 of them. They're going to die too, probably. But I get the Washington Post here at my home. So I'm aware of everything that goes on in it, not just the sports section. But it all makes all of it, the way it was handled makes me angry. And I would tell anybody that to their face.
How dare you say boxing is dead when just recently we were given this moment in boxing, and you're out here blaspheming against boxing no longer being as relevant as it was, as this guy gets his toupee knocked off in the middle of the ring in a heavyweight fight that matters. He loses his hair. How dare you say boxing is dead?
These two dudes, that's a lie, because these two dudes ain't in any heavyweight fight that matters.
Your corner of the world here, when you speak of sports, your greatest passion is and always has been basketball.
Not necessarily. I'm seasonal. I'm a seasonal dude. I mean, I have been more prominent in your face the last 15 years doing basketball. But before that, I did football. Before that, I did college basketball. Before that, there are times of tennis and golf. That's one of the things about the Washington Post. One of the things ESPN destroyed, and yes, I'm blaming ESPN for making everybody a specialist. By the way, you see behind me, behind my left ear, is a picture of Joe Louis raising Muhammad Ali's hand. That was boxing. But I interrupt. I'm sorry. What were you going to say about my
I don't know. You had ESPN destroying something. That's catnip for me.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is that you had them destroying with your special.
Well, people being generalists. There are no generalists anymore. They're just specific shows, specific things where people host or report on specific things, not everything. You and I reported on we did everything. When college basketball season was over, I went to baseball. When baseball was over, I went to football. When football was not over, but it kind of over, I went to basketball because it was basically over in December then.
But my question on basketball was going to be, as someone who clearly you love basketball, your son Matthew, you've taught him to love basketball.
Yes.
The sport today, as in its evolved form, where players are getting hurt all over the place, they're playing a different style, 53s a game, everything that's happening in the sport. Do you love it the same way that you did?
I hate it. I hate it this week more than ever. I wanted to come and sit down and watch a real game between Oklahoma City and San Antonio the other night, and then I find out half the people aren't playing, which is the norm. It's the norm for half the people you paid to see, whether you paid to see in person or at home on one of the 9 streaming services that makes it so you don't even know where the games are. You don't even know where they are. Is it on Prime? Is it on ESPN? Is it on NBC? Where the NBA TV? Where the hell's the game? I can't find it. I was with Charles Barkley one night in Arizona recently. We're having dinner, and we were like, hey, we got to go watch that game. And Charles and I both looked at each other and go, where's the game? Where is it? 2 people who are employed to talk about basketball on national television don't know where the damn game is.
Yeah, but that's just old guys. That's just
No, it's not old guys. No, it isn't. It actually isn't. I asked my son about it. He's 17. He plays high school basketball. No, it isn't just old guys. It's funnier because it's old guys. You're right about that. But no, I don't know. I don't like what it's become. I don't like All-Star Weekend. Talk about lightweight and talk about the NBA's had years to address and fix the All-Star game and apparently is afraid to. Who do they not want to cross? They don't want to cross LeBron. They don't want to cross. Who is it they don't want to offend? Steph? I doubt it's those 2 guys because they're up for anything that promotes and sells and makes the product better. But who are they? Who's the league afraid to offend? You want to put a game out there of international players versus U.S., you'd have interest in that. The moment the Super Bowl's over, you'd have fascination with that. They're scared to do it. And they come up with 3 teams. It's just lazy. You know what it is. I know I'm not going to curse and say what I want to say. You know what it is. Starts with a B and an S. That's just that part of it. The product, there's so many great players playing, great young players, and I do like that. I love that the league is less old than it used to be, and it's always been a league where you had to play a long time to become great and be in a position with a band of people to challenge and contend. It's a little different now. And you got more teams now. I like that there are 8, 10 teams that look like they could really challenge, if not 8, 6 or 8, challenge for a championship. I love that. I love the international stars. So there are things about the game I love. Overall, the fact that you don't even know when you're going to see them is what pisses me off most. Load management, whether people are, I don't question injuries, Dan, in any sport, but damn, if we're told all the time, my son comes in and says, oh, Dad, athletes, the players now are bigger, stronger, faster, more athletic, then how come their asses are hurt every night? The best in treatment, in medicine, in technology, in equipment. Dudes used to wear canvas shoes with no tape, and they played 82. And now guys have everything, and they can't play 60 games. And that, I don't like that. I hate that. And it may not be just the NBA, but the NBA seems to major in that right now.
Happy New Year, everybody. 2026 is already getting off to an incredible start because you want to know how I rang in the new year? It was with a bunch of friends in a Dallas hotel lobby bar ordering a bunch of Miller Lights because that's how you do it. That's how you make special memories. Miller Lite has been by my side at many special football memories this year, and hopefully we get to write a few more memories with Miller Lite. Some of my most legendary moments have started that exact same way. A buddy's house, a lobby bar, a game, no big plan. And then you crack open a Miller Lite, you take a sip, and you look around, and you immediately recognize that you made the right call. You're locked into the game, the conversation, the moment, not thinking about what you're drinking. Miller Lite just fits. Clean finish, refreshing, brewed for taste with simple ingredients like malted barley, and at 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces, it never weighs you down. Legendary moments start with Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.